Since 1973, Tattoo Charlie's has been an established body modification studio in Kentucky, featuring world-renowned artists and piercers, currently with locations on Preston Highway and in Lexington, a staple point in the tattoo community. Learn more at TattooCharlies.com. Set up your appointment today at 7904 Preston Highway. Our tattoos are done while you wait.
Hey guys, Wrestling Steve of the Wrestling Steve Show here. So if you're currently listening to the Metal Forge with Mark Jackson, then you understand that Mark Jackson has a pretty discerning taste when it comes to music as a whole. You'll also understand that he has a discerning taste for professional wrestling, just like me. My show is called The Wrestling Steve Show. I talk about modern and classic pro wrestling in a completely unbiased, unfiltered way. Be sure to check me out on all available podcasting platforms. That is The Wrestling Steve Show. And I am the host, Wrestling Steve. Just remember, like Confucius said, man who goes through turnstile in Thailand is going to Bangkok. Pro wrestling.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I am your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now let's get this show on the road. What's going on, Metalheads? It is the Metal Forge, and I'm your host, Mark Jackson, and it is Friday, September 18th, where my guest today will be Vulture from the band Overthrust from Gonzi, Botswana, Africa. And just to give a little fast rundown, is I originally heard about this band on a CNN article back in like 2014. I was sitting at my desk at work, and I was just like reading this death metal cowboy culture in Southern Africa, and everybody looked like the cover of Ace of Spades, with the leather and, looking like a Western rock band kind of thing. So I listened to them and was like, holy shit, these guys are really fucking cool. And I reached out. They were really receptive to wanting to do an interview because they have a story to tell, and it's awesome. I'm glad they were so receptive, and you're going to be listening to that here in just a few minutes. However, before I get into that, I do want to sit there and say thank you to the people at the Temple in Greensburg, Indiana for hosting Overload, SWP, and Mothrawk this past weekend. Got to play a live show. It was really cool. Shout out to Doug Taylor and Harold and Angela Garland for taking some videos. You'll be seeing those on the Facebook page, I'm sure. If not, the Metal Forge page, my personal page, and the Overload page, of course. But it was really fucking cool, which leads me to the question that I want to hear from you guys, because ultimately, I want to know what you guys think. Upon the time that your state, country, city, reopens for live music, who's the first band you want to see? Whether it's, I don't care who it is, whether it's the cover band that you've been following for a few years because your friends are in it, or if is it your friend's band? What's your favorite local artist that you want to go see once you're able to? Shoot me a message, metalforgeradio@gmail.com. If you don't want to do it that way, you can go through the website, metalforgeradio.com, fill out the questionnaire on there, and I read all of that stuff. So the 10s that I get each week, 20s, no, kidding. I read all of that, and your input is always welcome here, because we are a metal community. We are a music community. Speaking of music community, I also do want to give a shout out to Jeff and Mark at Mom's Music in Louisville, Kentucky, and Maxwell's House of Music in Jeffersonville, Indiana, for the new sponsorship that will be starting next week. I'm recording on some new software, and I want to thank them and all of the people who make that happen over at the stores. Howard, Mike, Bert, Brooks, Bobby, all of those cats. thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love you all. It's been a long time of doing business with you guys, and I'm glad we can continue in this new age and continue to do business. So if you want any gear, go to momsmusic.com, maxwellshouseofmusic.com. Look and see what they've got. They will order whatever you want, and you can pick it up in store if you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, Jeffersonville, Indiana area. You can pick it up there. They can ship it to you. You know, call them, do what you need to do. You know, talk to Michael, talk to Howard, talk to somebody there. They will hook you up. Because like I said, it's a metal community, it's a music community, and we're all one. We're all in this for the music. But anyways, thank you all. Thank you all for tuning in each and every week. The listenership is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We just surpassed over 2,500 likes on Facebook. We're over 360 on the Instagram page, and it's continuing to grow daily. I'm getting new daily likes, new daily shares on things. That helps out more than you know. So continue to smash the subscribe button, like and share, and if you appreciate what I'm doing, I'm appreciating what you're doing. And thank you so much for that. Oh, by the way, I did open a YouTube page. It's Metal Forge Radio. Soon enough, there will be some content on there, maybe some live streams of the show. Awesome. I'm digging this. I do want to give one last shout out today to Nightmare Mansion in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Go to youwillscream.com, hashtag Nightmare Mansion, hashtag YouWillScream. It's 2008 Atlantic Avenue. They've been over 30 years in business. When I was on vacation, I stopped in there. It's a year-long, year-round haunted house, and it's fucking awesome. Go to it. It's cheap. It's $13. Right. So fuck yeah. 10 to 15 minutes walk through time. Creepy as shit in there. So cool. Awesome staff. Giving a shout out to them. Nightmare Mansion in Virginia Beach, Virginia. If you are there, go to this. The screamcam.com is another thing. You can look that up, and it shows some people that have walked through. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Like I said, Nightmare Mansion. Thank you guys so much for the hospitality. I really enjoyed this scare, and I hope to come back and visit you guys again. Alright, so I'm going to play some Overthrust right now. This is their newest single. It was released at the end of August. Click the links below to get to their Bandcamp page, to all of their recordings, and so on and so forth. This is Demon Grave by Overthrust. All right, and I'm being joined on the line right now with Vulture from the band Overthrust from Botswana. Dude, how are you today?
It's great to be talking to you, my brother. So far, so good.
Awesome.
Hello, listeners.
So you guys are from Botswana. You're a death metal band. You've been out since 2008. Tell the Metal Forge listeners out there a little bit more about you guys.
We are Overthrust. This is some kind of a childhood band that we grew up together, very close to each other, and some of the two band members, we are cousins. I was at Botswana Police College, where I was a cop before, and that's where I've actually met our guitarist, Spencer Thrust. But before that, in the township where I used to stay, our late drummer, Suicide Torment, was based in that township, and that is where we met. I was wearing a metal t-shirt, Morbid Angel t-shirt, and I saw him wearing a Immolation t-shirt. So we greeted each other in a public in the bar, and then metalhead, yes, I'm metalhead. Then that is how we started connecting. He was very young, extremely young. He was about 16 years old. Yeah, 16, 17. And then I told him, well, I just arrived in this township, Ganzi. I'm coming to work here as a cop, and I'm metalhead. Then he said, I'm not good with instruments, but I'm eager to learn. I'm ready. And then I say, okay, we have another drummer. A drummer is coming from only to find after some time that the drummer that we actually first started with was his uncle. And then he came, the guitarist came to Ganzi. Overthrust started. It was towards the end of 2008. Then when we were together, we played for about 6 to 8 months with our current drummer now, which is the uncle to the late drum. And then he handed the drum section to his nephew, Suicide Clement, the one who passed away. And then we played with Suicide for about 10 years or so. So our first single was released in April 2011 from Duke's Diamond Studios, the guy from Rust. And then after that one, we get really positive feedback online and in the world, which led us to recording a full set album from Metal Records in Gaborone, the album called Desecrated Deeds to Decease. It was recorded in Metal Records by Yves Sabrana and Joseph Sabrana. So that is actually where we did pick up. And then we had a lot of shows. We had a mission like to spread the metal music to people, especially the underground one, especially in a small town like Gans. They did not know about metal, especially extreme one. So we played with a non-metal genre. At first, people were and then saying we were possessed by demonic stuff. We played, but we never gave up. Some religious organization, once at a time, they tried to do a petition for us to stop us from playing metal shows. But then the authorities, they were open-minded, so they refused. They rejected it and said, no, those people are musicians, so they have talent. They are doing what they can do best. So just leave them alone. And then from there, we had a lot of following. Support from home. And then in 2015, we were contacted by the agents from International Summer Festival in Hamburg, Germany.
Right.
Our current European managers, and they say, "Oh, guys, are you Overthrust?" Yeah, Overthrust. So we saw a lot of positive responses in your timeline, and we want you to come and play International Summer Festival. They say, "Wow, that will be great. It will be a great opportunity. We are ready for anything." And then we arranged for, okay, we'll play on 2016. So we made arrangements, and then they started advertising everything, only to find that coincidentally the show was in the week where the Vacuum was also playing. And then our managers, then they went to Vacuum management and they said, we have a band from Botswana, Overthrust. Then they said, okay, can we listen to our music? And then Pep Bonnet is the photographer for the late Lemmy from Motorhead, and also for Vacuum and other institutions. So he was also available there. Then he said, wow, wait, that's Overthrust. Then they say, yes. Then he said, I know the band. I met with the frontman, Vulture in Botswana. We spent a total of a week. I was documenting the band and the whole of Botswana metal scene. So this band is great. And then he pitched for us, and then they listened, and everyone said, wow, then let them come and play Vacuum. And that is how we played Vacuum, where we received a huge positive responses after our play, to the extent that we were given some minutes, and then we have to play some few more minutes. The band that was have to play after us, they were so polite, and they say, you guys, people love you here. Play 2 more songs, please, in our slot. And then we did very really. And then Immediately after we came back to Botswana, we had a lot of invitations across the world, including USA. 15, we also in touch with our USA record label manager now from Indian River Music Company, the one who has done our current album Suicide Torment, Jason Bunny from Indian River Music Company in Florida. He says, guys, let's something. I might come to your country to do the recording for you. And he said, no problem. And then he organized some shows for us in Florida. He was initially organizing shows. So from there, we kept in touch. And then in 2017, we got an invitation from Cashfest in Holland. That is where we played in Ostbeck. We also played in Germany again. And when we played in Switzerland. And then in 2017, we had a lot of shows, about 13 shows that we played in that tour. And then in 2018, I was involved in a documentary shot by Janari Himaki and Samuel from Finland. So in March, I went to Finland to represent the documentary about Overthrust, named Freedom in the Dark. Freedom in the Dark is actually our first single that we released in 2011. So I was representing the whole of the scene there. So everything went extremely well there. We also got more invitations from the Overthrust.
All right, let's take a real quick break and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge this week. I really appreciate every last one of you that listens. But before I go any further, I do want to tell you that we do have a Patreon page here. And there's 3 tiers. There's the down and dirty dollar tier. It's just $1. Hey, you're not going to miss $1. Nobody does. Then there's the $5 Showstoppers tier, which you get a patch, stickers, whatever we have that's in that price range. And then there's the $20 a month Master, where you can get a t-shirt, any size, any color of the Metal Forge logo. Fuck yeah, that's awesome stuff. Oh, and by the way, if you donate on there, guess what? You get the show 2 days in advance from everybody else. Thank you all so much. It's patreon.com/metalforgeradio. Check it out and donate today. I love you guys. Thank you. So tell me about the album Suicide Torment.
In 2019, we went to Village Sound Studio here in Gaborone, Botswana. We recorded, we were in touch with our record label, Jason Bunny, and then we sent the raw recording to him at his studio, and then he mixed and mastered them, the EP, our latest Suicide Torment. That was released in 20 of December 2019. Actually, this album, we released it with too much anger after our drummer was hit. Suicide Torment was hit by a drunken person in a public bar.
Oh, wow.
So he passed away in December 2018. So we had too much hatred, and the songs are so aggressive songs and angry songs. We have tracks like Kill the Bastard, one of my favorites. We have the main track, Suicide Torment, in his memory, expressing our anger and also wishing him his soul to rest in peace. We have songs like Territory of Death, talking about the world is not safe at all. We are living in the territory of death. Anytime, anything can happen. When your time comes, you will go. So it's really a great song. We have songs like Dental Surgery, very brutal. So it's actually received positive response also. It was well received by the world. It's there in my Spotify and everything.
So you released the album and your drummer passed away. What happened next?
So immediately after Suicide passed away, the whole family and us, one person that was in our mind was his uncle, the one whom we started with. Balatedi Fola is called a Overthrust, so it's a family of drummers. We told him, now it's time for you to come back. There's no any other good replacement other than you.
Right.
He said, you know what? I'm ready. Let's do this. We played with him his first international show in Cape Town, Metal for Africa. He did extremely well. He's extremely brutal. So every time we saw him in the drum, we saw our late brother, his nephew, Suicide. So that is how Overthrust has come in contact with each other, and we are really connected to each other. We are family now. The same lineup that started Overthrust back in 2008, and when we joined in 2013 by another guitarist edition, Doc Thrust, it has always been the same lineup. We have always had our own fights and conflicts, but we have never given up on each other. That is something that has been made. We are not connected.
Right, and camaraderie with each other and being real with each other, I think, keeps people together in music.
Yes.
You know, you can't just sit there and can't just be like a dictator to everybody in your band or anything like that. You have to be all on a level playing field. Exactly,
something that I've always kept up, like everyone's voice in our band it has always to be listened to, and you hear it and we discuss it. Me, especially as a frontman, I don't just make the decision on the behalf of my band. I say no, okay, we'll come back to you. let me just go discuss with my brothers. I'm more special that I'm currently the youngest in the band, and they are older than me. So we talk to each other. So how can we handle this issue? What do we do? What do we do? So we have our own meetings. Like we can't just I can't just dictate everything without their knowledge. Because as if they don't exist. So we consult each other. And when we have done wrong to each other, we just apologize nicely and then we drink beer. Then life goes on.
How is the Botswana music scene?
Botswana, I think, in the next coming near future is the future for the heavy metal music in the world. Like we have very appreciating, very accommodating, giving everybody a smile and a warm welcome for the heavy metal scene in Botswana. We have always have support, although we have faced some few minor challenges, about 5% from the maybe religious organizations. But in our scene, we have some Christians, we have everybody's welcoming everybody. So at first people were like, didn't understand the underground music, but immediately when they understood it, they started becoming more supportive in seeing that, we thought it was some kind of encouraging violence and evil stuff, but now they say, it's a great music. So we have lots of bands in Botswana, especially the upcoming one. Of course, we also have the oldest one, like Rust. Rust was the one which actually inspired Overthrust. I'm a close friend of the frontman, Stux Diamond. From the beginning, he's actually the one who was encouraging me. He even gave our band our first guitar. We got it from him. He even recorded our first single. So he has always been with us through thick and thin. We have bands like Metal Horizon, one of the very first bands, rock and roll band, together with Noisy Road. Noisy Road is the godfather, is the pioneer of rock scene in Botswana. The one for Eve Sobrana, who we recorded our first single. We also have bands like Petrified is always called death metal too. We have the first and only black metal band, Revenant Flesh, is there, it exists. We have so many bands, Stain. We have Alive and Boulder, which is also one of the oldest. We have Summer Hundians. We have Dust and Fire, Remuda, plenty of them, like Evergreen from Pigwe. We used to have one of the most brutal one. They have just been engaged with life issues and they are not active, but we hope someday they'll come back, correct us. That was actually my favorite too. So we have Bankrupt Souls, it also exists. We have Summer Indians. We have PMM. We have so many bands that exist, and also the other one. I mean, we also have Rockara. Our guitarist, he also have he plays folklore, classics, music. Yes, that project called Rockara, I think, is doing extremely well to everyone, the kids and the elders, and he's so inspirational. So we are trying to take the music scene, the underground music, classic rock and roll and heavy metal music to people. And I think it's coming well because we have the support from all over the world. We have support from USA, Europe, and other countries. We have our connections there. We have our managers in Marcel Vasavec, Emmanuel, Sasha Brusama in Germany, and Jason Bunny. We have also Stephen Chiraze, the Metallica journalist, who also came to our annual Winter Metal Mania Festival here in Botswana. So
that's the annual festival that you promote, correct?
Actually, we have developed a show. We have an annually metal festival in Botswana that we started back in 2009. So the show is called Overthrust Winter Metal Mania Festival. It's a charity show that we collaborate with the mayor in the town. We collaborate with the other humanitarian organization, like social and community development for kids, for children and people living with HIV/AIDS. So the process of the show, we give them to the disadvantaged children in the society. We donate them, like giving back to the community. The show is over 10 years now. That has been happening, except only this year due to the pandemic. So this is the show that has actually turned into the arena for the African music, metal bands and rock and roll bands, because we have some bands coming as far as from Angola, South Africa, Mozambique. That is where, when the world want to see or come and view the African metal scene and the music, we have created it at our Overthrust Winter Metal Mania Festival in Ganzi, Botswana. That is where every May, end of May, people gather in huge numbers. We have media as far as BBC, CNN. We have media people from as far as Sweden and all over Africa. So the show started small, but currently it has become bigger for us because we are financing it from pockets. We just contribute and then we try when we try. So we encourage the world to support it. We are there. We just care too much about children and any other people who needs humanitarian services or assistance. So that is our major issue. Like Overthrust, we are kind of giving back to the community, and like we like donating, like assisting. It's just that we are currently having some bit of struggle financially, but we are not gonna give up on that one.
And y'all have a single that just recently come out.
We have Overthrust newly released, but it will be online in all the sites. Single track called Demon Grave, some kind of a ghost coming back to take its revenge or disturbed. So the soul has not rested in peace. So the song is very brutal song. We recorded it, the song in Milestone Studios in Cape Town in January. It was recorded, mixed and mastered by Jethro Harris. We call him Deadly Thrust. So one of the best. So stay tuned for it. On the 26th of this month, August, it will be out in all the sites.
So that actually came out on the 26th of August, and you can get it on Bandcamp, Spotify, and all the other streaming platforms. If you could have written a song or an album from another band, what would it be?
I would definitely take a song from Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness album. Then I'll take Suffocation. Yeah, one of my favorites.
What is the inspiration behind your music?
Actually, my surrounding and my background inspires me a lot. Like where I come from in Raikops village and also in some other parts of Botswana, our cultures and some of the traditional beliefs. Like we believe that ancestors are there, they exist there to protect us, and we beg from them. Where the ancestral belief is there. We also believe in ghosts. We believe ghosts do exist. Like especially myself, when I grew up at the cattle post, when we were going there, coming at midnight or stuff, you could see just the fire or the explosion of a coal in front of you, but you can't reach it. Like you feel numb in the whole of the body, you're not able to walk and stuff, and you're like having some goosebumps all over the body. So ghosts do exist. Sometimes we believe that when you see a ghost, maybe it was somebody who their souls have not rested in peace due to maybe the method of how they died, or maybe they were killed or something, or maybe when they died they left some things that they never enjoyed and they want to come back to that. Like the witchcraft, we believe witchcraft do exist in some African countries, so we also touch on it. We also talk about death, the fearless death. So, you know, people are not comfortable at all when you talk about death. And when you talk about death, when you talk about demonic stuff, like they tend to think maybe you are an evil person. So we expose such things to people.
All right, we're going to take a real quick break and be back with some more questions with Vulture Thrust from the band Overthrust from Botswana.
Musicians, rejoice. Confused with all the modern and technical pedalboard selections? Look no further. Kentucky Hot Brown Pedalboards offer their homemade wooden and custom pedalboards for guitarists and bassists alike. Established in 2013, KYHBPB has helped support not only the local Louisville scene, but a large array of big and small players from across the entire country. More info can be found at KentuckyPedalboards.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Metal Forge. I'm being joined on the line with Vulture Thrust from the band Overthrust in Botswana. So give me some more themes that you all write about.
Other than writing about our major theme, like specifically in Overthrust, we talk about death, purgatory, like torture, and then we criticize false preachers, and then we also have a tendency of when people try to criticize us or label us, especially from the religious side, we also have a way of torturing them with our music, like we tell them that, you know what, we are all going to die here. Nobody knows what happens. So that makes us equal.
Right. What are some current goals you all have on the horizon?
Yeah, sometimes when they are, we like our country, when we have some national music competitions and maybe themes for spreading a certain message, like now for Corona, and then the spreading message to the audience, stuff like that. Yeah, we sometimes do side projects and then maybe compose a single song, a clean one, not just for death metal one. Like we have another song against coronavirus. We also release it sometimes. Maybe by the first week of the coming month or maybe the second month, it will be out. So that one is just a dedication. It's a free song for everyone. We're going to send it across all the medias, across the world, radio station, TV station, and others.
Dude, that's amazing. You all have so much going on. Like, you all are so much involved in your community.
So we are very active. Like, we interact very well with the public, and then we like helping. We like assisting. When we are called, we ask for some assistance. We will definitely do that. Like, we like to interact so much, and we care much about people.
What is your greatest achievement as a musician?
It's when I see for the first time in my life, and our brothers in the band, when we crossed the oceans to Europe, overseas. That was the most thing that I will never ever forget in my life. At some point, I've thought that I'm going to die having not crossed overseas Africa to other countries. So that is a memory that I'll never forget. And then the other one was when I had my first daughter, my little daughter. I have 2 kids now, the daughter and the boy. So that was a great memory ever, especially after a long time that I've not been having kids because of some relationship. I did just saw that no, this one is not a good one, because the people were judging me too much, and I can't have kids with this one. So until the gods finally answered prayer, and then I got a good one, and then we had our first baby together. So that was a great feeling ever.
That's awesome. I think you're the first musician who has actually said their greatest achievement was their children.
Thank you awesome. So much.
Dude, that's absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much.
I only have really one other question to ask, and it's if heaven or hell exists, what do you want to hear when you arrive?
Yeah. As long as I'm still alive, I would like to hear the new album for Morbid Angel. I would also like to hear an invitation from Bakian. I gave the Metal Souls. So the thrill that I've got there, the thrill that we enjoyed there with the band, we still want to go there again. You can hear that someday, whatever time that we die, I'll die a happy man.
Man, I really appreciate you calling in.
Thank you.
I'm going to play a song here on the way out. This is actually going to be the title track off of the Suicide Torment CD. This is going to be
thank you so much.
Suicide Torment by Overthrust.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you, dude, and I look forward to seeing you guys down the road.
You're welcome. The whole world, metalheads all over, we love you so much. Take care of yourself. Stay safe, sanitize, stay home, wear masks as much as you have always done as metalheads, I know.
Definitely. You said it. Wear your masks out there. Be safe. Metal is forever.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
All right, and here we go. This is Suicide Torment from Overthrust.
You son of a bitch. You killed our brother.
Since 1973, Tattoo Charlie's has been an established body modification studio in Kentucky, featuring world-renowned artists and piercers, currently with locations on Preston Highway and in Lexington, a staple point in the tattoo community. Learn more at tattoocharlies.com. Set up your appointment today at 7904 Preston Highway. Our tattoos are done while you wait.
Musicians, rejoice! Confused with all the modern and technical pedalboard selections? Look no further. Kentucky Hot Brown Pedalboards offer their homemade wooden and custom pedalboards for guitarists and bassists alike. Established in 2013, KYHBPB has helped support not only the local Louisville scene, but a large array of big and small players from across the entire country. More info can be found at KentuckyPedalboards.com.